My name is Peter Stanton. I'm the publisher of the Worcester Business Journal, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all here to our 6th annual Family Business Awards event. And on behalf of the Business Journal and all of our valued sponsors, welcome, and it's great to have you here. Hey, how about that USA soccer team making it out of the group of death and into the round of 16? Let's give them a hand. Raise your hand if you lost some staff productivity today for people who were really a little too into the soccer. Kind of Johnny-come-lately reason to watch television. But anyways, I'm going to tie this in. If you followed any of the soccer, you will know that the phrase group of death describes the toughest draw where 4 very strong teams end up in the same opening round-robin play, and yet only 2 of them can survive until the next round. Well, the odds of a family business making it intact from one generation to the next is just as daunting as the World Cup's group of death. And anyone's company's chances of making it into the 3rd or 4th or even 5th generation gets mathematically slimmer as you go. So this year we have 1 Family Business Award winner being run by the 1st and 2nd generations, 2 by the 2nd and 3rd, and 3 where the 4th and 5th generations are at the helm of the business or in the process of taking charge, or giving an elbow to mom and dad. So let's give them a hand. The odds are long that these companies could let alone survive, forget thrive, as each generation takes the reins. You know, I mean, are the kids smart enough these days? Now we accept that they are. So anyways. So congratulations for surviving the group of death, and for some of you making it all the way to the World Cup finals. That's the completion of that metaphor. Okay. But also our hats off for you for creating, managing, and innovating and evolving your companies. And I just was having this conversation with Scott Bigelow. You know, you can sort of look at these long-established firms and go, well, they've had their business, you know, locked in, but you know, really bringing innovation and change and accepting that, and staying close to the customers so that the firm can continue on successfully from generation to generation. It's quite an accomplishment. So every company has a story, and we've got 6 great ones to share with you this evening. It is my pleasure to hand the proceedings over to our associate publisher of the Worcester Business Journal, Mark Murray, who will serve as this evening's MC for the program, and I will go over and get my glass of wine. Mark, it's all yours.
Thank you, Peter. Great metaphor. Group of death. Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank, as many of you know, whenever we put on events, we do a lot of it ourselves, but we cannot do it without the generous support of many sponsors. This particular event, we've been very fortunate to have, you know, Bank of America, Anna Marie College, and Fallon Health, who have been sponsors for many years of this event, and without their support, this couldn't happen. So I want to thank them collectively. But at the same time, I want to introduce a couple of representatives from their companies to talk a little bit about their firms. So I'll begin with the Bank of America. I'd like to welcome Michael Garand, Senior Vice President, Private Client Advisor, U.S. Trust Bank of America, Private Wealth Management. That's a long title, Michael. I'd like to welcome him to the platform for a few remarks. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone, for the kind introduction. Let me start off by saying that Bank of America's long-standing relationship with the Worcester Business Journal is very much valued. I think we've been doing this event since the beginning, and we're really excited to be here and a part of this event. Some of you may have seen our branding campaign, We're Better When We're Connected, and I cannot think of an organization that exemplifies that better than the Worcester Business Journal, providing businesses, key influencers, and stakeholders with business information and connecting all of us to the important Worcester community. Bank of America is part of the fabric of our Worcester and Central Massachusetts neighborhoods and has been for some time. Our goal is always daily to help clients and customers' lives better and make their lives better financially. We know we're only as connected and healthy as the communities where we do business and where our 6,000 Massachusetts employees live. I'm joined by several of my Worcester-based colleagues today. many of whom you know, and many of our business lines serving Worcester, U.S. Trust, Merrill Lynch. Matt Shealy is here, our resident director from Merrill Lynch, John Desmond from our commercial banking team, as well as Tom Rose. I'd like you guys to stand and be recognized. Thanks, guys. As well as our banking center managers. We are all delivering the full capabilities of our bank to Worcester individuals, companies, and institutions every single day. Worcester is really a critical market for us, and we've aligned our specialty resources under the longtime leadership of Market President Ed Shea, who oversees our cross-business line Worcester team, ensuring we provide all the capabilities needed for the Worcester community. I'll close by reiterating thanks on behalf of Bank of America teammates and all of you here today, and for the Worcester Business Journal, in particular, for a partnership that helps keep a finger on the pulse of the business community here in Worcester. Thank you again.
Thank you, Michael. Another longtime supporter and sponsor from Anna Maria College, please welcome David Forsberg, Dean of the School of Business. David.
Thank you very much. I want to thank Peter for beginning by making a soccer reference. As difficult as it may be looking at me now to believe, I was actually a fairly high-level soccer player. So even though my boss is in the audience, I'm going to admit that I was a little part of the loss of productivity this afternoon as we watch those results come in. Surviving death is an interesting thing. How many of you were here for last year's presentation? Well, you can see that I'm still the Dean of the School of Business at Anna Maria College, so I did survive my performance at last year's event, and hopefully can outdo it a little bit this evening. First of all, I want to congratulate all of the honorees this evening. I worked for 10 years with my dad, and I was going to maybe be the generation that took the business down, so had the good sense to move on. I have the greatest respect for businesses that continue to change and grow and thrive as things are handed from generation to generation. And I don't think the other recipients will mind me singling out the Laurings, because they're sort of part of Anna Maria, and Ray Lauring received an honorary degree at our recent graduation, so the Laurings are having a very good year. I also want to congratulate the Worcester Business Journal, and I want to thank them for being a very fair, balanced, and thoughtful voice for business, and Peter, for your leadership in putting together a team that brings that to us on a regular basis. It's quite an accomplishment. When I was thinking about what I might say, it dawned on me that there could not be a sponsorship that makes more sense for Anna Maria to do, because our goals and our commitments are so similar. The businesses that are being honored here this evening are being honored because they're successful businesses, but they're also being honored because they serve the community. They have a double bottom line. They have a bottom line that they have to care for to make sure the business thrives. But I think you will find as we go through the recipients, without exception, they also have a bottom line that is geared to the community. That's what an education at Anna Maria is all about. We teach our students the skills they need to compete in a changing world, but we also teach them that they have obligations to serve in a challenging community. So I think the linkage of Anna Maria with this event is perfect symmetry. I want to thank you for allowing us to be a sponsor and get to associate with such thriving businesses. I'm not going to introduce everyone from Anna Maria, but I think you should know that Mary Lou Rattel next Tuesday is going to become the acting president of Anna Maria College and will do an outstanding job. My boss, Billy O'Clair, the vice president for academic affairs, is here, and since I've confessed I watched the soccer, I'll buy her a drink after this is over. And the person who you should want your child to study with is Liz Manos, who is the director of the School of Business, and you could not find a better place to learn about the rights and wrongs of dealing in the world of business than you would from Liz. So thank you very much for including Anna Maria in this evening's.
Thank you, David, for those kind words. And finally, Fallon Health. Fallon Health has been a longtime supporter of Worcester Business Journal and a longtime sponsor of this event. So I'd like to have you please welcome Dave Przesiek, Senior Vice President and Chief Sales and Marketing Officer from Fallon Health. Dave.
Thanks, Mark. Peter, interesting reference on the group of death with the health insurance company, a pharmacy company, and an ambulance company, all part of this evening's events. So not sure where to go with that one, but a good reference nonetheless. Again, sincere congratulations to the outstanding family businesses being recognized tonight. Some say it's easy to sit up and take notice. What's difficult is standing up and taking action. Today, we are celebrating the fact that someone stood up and took that action. Today we're celebrating enthusiasm, commitment, and sheer hard work. Enthusiasm is often neglected as a force, yet without it, there would be few achievements. Enthusiasm, you see, sets fire to imagination. It asks, what if, and if I did? And the results depend on the answer to those questions. Tonight, we honor those business owners who asked those questions and committed themselves to finding the answers. We are honoring those who work late in the evening and early in the morning. We're about to present awards to the winners who wouldn't take no for an answer. And to the award recipients that I already talked to tonight, that is definitely clear. So I want to thank you and congratulate the Worcester Business Journal for once again putting on this great event to honor those local family businesses. For Fallon Health, it's an honor to be one of this evening's presenting sponsors for a couple of reasons. The first is that we get to present the award to two of our customers, and we're happy to do that. They're valued Fallon Health customers, and we greatly appreciate the confidence that both Hyde Tools and Woods Ambulance have in our services. The second is that since 1977, Fallon Health has been part of the Central Mass business community as both an employer and as a health plan for many area businesses. And although Fallon is not a family-owned business, we are a business of families. We have over 1,100 employees. We have fathers working with sons, mothers working with daughters, and husbands working with wives. And as a husband who worked with his wife, not the easiest thing in the world sometimes. And who show up daily to accomplish our mission of making our communities healthy. So once again, on behalf of Fallon, congratulations to tonight's honorees. Thank you and your families for the commitment that you have to Central Massachusetts. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Also, I just wanted to announce that we are supporting sponsors as well. Better Business Bureau, Family Business Association, and ROCG, Shepherd and Goldstein Consulting Group. Also, our media partner is WTAG and WSRS. I want to thank all those who help us put this event on, and I want to remind everyone here that these sponsors, various sponsors, have tables aside around the room for you to visit and pick some things up if you so choose. So with that said, I'd like to introduce our editor, Rick Saya, who will kick off the introductions to our Family Business Awards. Rick.
Thanks, Mark. Good afternoon, everybody. I was in the middle of preparing my remarks today, and I was kind of interrupted by something that was going on in Brazil. Sorry, Pete, I have to come clean on that now. I was still productive, I think. So thanks for coming out today. Over the past 6 years, this event has really been a standout on our calendar. We're excited to bring all these companies and business leaders together in one room to share their inspirational stories. To help us in the selection process, we enlisted 3 judges whom I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and commend for their help. They are Chris Coughlin of the Coughlin Companies in Worcester, which was a Family Business Awards recipient last year. It's a little pressure I like to put on alumni every year. Also, Neil Gould of Holden, who's a business consultant, and Pam Stevens, who's an attorney with Cedar and Chandler in Worcester, and I believe she's here today. Pam? There you go. Hi, Pam. I'd also like to acknowledge our videographer and photographer, Matt Volpini, who created the video profiles that will be part of our awards presentation today. So without further ado, I would like to kick off our formal awards presentation and introduce our first honoree. There. Sometimes you ask yourself questions and you feel as if you're the only one who's thinking what you're thinking. That's how Michael Yag founded Access TCA in the mid-1980s. When he was in sales for Polaroid, he found that just about all trade show companies were managed by carpenters or designers who were unable to measure trade show sales or return on investment. So he took the $60,000 he had from selling his home to launch Access with just 5 employees. Now, nearly 3 decades later, the company has expanded within its facilities in Whitensville and added large offices in Atlanta and Las Vegas. And Michael's 3 children, all in their 20s, now play key roles in the company. So let's hear the Access TCA story in this video clip.
Access is an event marketing organization. We design and build custom trade show exhibits, and we also help our clients with any face-to-face marketing needs, including events and road shows, face-to-face engagements.
I started Access in May of 1985, 29 years ago. And it was myself and 4 other gentlemen that started the company. I was 27 years old at the time, and we started the company primarily as a trade show exhibit house, and the company has grown to now include my daughter and 2 of my sons, as well as their significant others.
The biggest difference working for a family business, I think, comes in the flexibility. I think that it gives you a fabulous opportunity to look at the members of your family, the assets they bring to the table, and really create a working environment that is healthy and productive for everybody. We are very blessed to be able to make it work for the members of our family that want to be here, and it's very exciting to do it together. I think that that's really key when coming up with the dynamic of a family business that succeeds.
I think I instilled in my kids a sense of independent thinking. And one of the greatest things about having the kids here is that they challenge me and they feel free to do so.
The biggest advantage of working with my family is that they know my flaws like nobody else. So you can always count on us to really have each other's backs and to balance each other's strengths and weaknesses.
With a family-owned business, not only are we a smaller organization than, say, the large ones, but it gives us all an opportunity to really experience more disciplines within the company, recognize employees in much better fashion, much more often fashion, as well as working with my family, which has been just an amazing thing for me to experience. At times it's difficult to separate the family piece of the relationship from the professional relationship. I think we've done a great job of finding balance through weekly meetings with just the family to overcome a lot of those things. But yes, it is challenging at times.
It's hard to go home and have dinner or have birthday parties or spend time together and not let work creep into the conversation when the focus should really be on the family. That's probably the most difficult thing, is just drawing that line. The future of Access is bright. We are expanding our product offering. We are growing very rapidly. We have a very determined team, and I think that Access is so dependent upon the family core that I think that the family influence will only continue to grow.
I feel very blessed to have my kids all have separate interests within the organization. So it's not a matter of when I'm ready to retire, it's probably more a matter when they want to push me out.
I am very pleased to present a 2014 Central Mass Family Business Award to Access TCA of Whitensville, and accepting the award for the company is its Managing Director, Amy Yag-Sondra.
On behalf of Access, I just want to thank the Worcester Business Journal. This is a real honor for us, and I think that I want to take a second and who's the family business in the 4th and 5th generation? Can you raise your hand? We're only in the 2nd, and that is one heck of an accomplishment. You know, at Access, we're blessed to work together every day and to face the challenges and to look out for the better interests of all our employees together, which is really exciting. I think that this meant a lot to us. We have a lot of members of our team that live in Worcester, and the community is a huge part of Access. So we're thrilled to be here. We appreciate your recognition of our efforts, and I would like to also thank American O'Connell, our attorneys, who were the ones that recognized the family business dynamic at Access and that nominated us for this award. I think there are a few of them in the room, so we appreciate that. I'm getting away from the back. Thank you so much for thinking of us. I think those that work in this environment know that it has its ups and its downs, but I think everyone in this room has a respect for what we all do every day, and we tip our hat to all the other honorees as well. So thank you to the Worcester Business Journal.
It takes a truly special leader to know when to adapt and when to stay true to your roots. Those at Bigelow Electrical Company have figured out just the right balance. Celebrating their 100th anniversary this year, Bigelow thrives on direct feedback from their customers and adjusting the company's focus to meet the ever-changing needs of the marketplace. With their deep commitment to their customers and their employees, Bigelow is sure to stay ahead of the curve in their industry. Family owned and operated throughout their history, here's a look at the Bigelow story.
What we do here at Bigelow Electrical Big Power, our traditional business is repair and sales of electric motors, standby generators, water pumps and other kinds of pumps, and electric hoists. Everything that has an electric motor that runs it. My grandfather, Windsor H. Bigelow Sr., started an electrical contracting business with a partner. And then 2 years later, in 1914, he decided to do something that he loved as well. And he had a proprietorship, and he named it Bigelow's Motors. My father, Windsor Bigelow Jr., came to work here, I think it was 1954, and my grandfather incorporated Bigelow Electrical Company Incorporated, the motor side of the business at that point. And then my father became the president of the company when my grandfather passed away. And in 1977, he decided that we no longer wanted to be in the electrical contracting business. So that original company from 1912 just became a realty holding company. And the main business, which it is today, was Bigelow Electrical Company, Big Power. What I like most about being in a family business and having family members here is I get to see them and communicate with them.
It really helps to get stuff done because we're with each other and talking to each other all the time. We really know like what needs to be done at what time, and it helps a lot.
Working for a family-owned business, you don't ever leave it. When you go home at night, it's with you. When you go home on the weekend, it's with you. When you go on vacation, it's with you. What I was afraid of, I've been working here now for about 14 years, and I heard all the horror stories about husband and wives working together and what a strain it has on the marriage, and I didn't want to put anything that would jeopardize our relationship. You know, sometimes we have to remind each other to, okay, let's hold that off for tomorrow when we're at work. Or, you know, okay, now it's family time. So you have to find that balance. The business has been around for 100 years this year, and that's exciting.
You know, there's a future here. And we love New England, and this is our home, and this is where we've made our business. So, you know, I think the future's bright.
I am proud to present a 2014 Central Mass Family Business Award to Bigelow Electrical Company. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is Scott Bigelow, President.
Well, I'd like to say thank you to everybody from Worcester Business Journal, and it's humbling to be included with such distinguished people and who can identify with how the dynamics of family and small business, family business can interplay. So it's just a gracious feeling, and I want to say thank you to my loving family for all their support and putting up with me all these years. But I'm not sure what else to include except for congratulations to all the other honorees, and continue to enjoy your families. Thank you.
Bouvier Pharmacy and Home Medical Solutions. Nowadays, independent pharmacies are few and far between. Bouvier Pharmacy is an outlier in that sense. When was the last time Bouvier Pharmacy sold a cigarette? 25 years ago. That decision cost them tens of thousands of dollars in sales. But for Philip Bouvier, it was just doing what's right. Decisions like that have created a culture of doing what's right. They're committed to making every customer's medical process as hassle-free as possible. And thanks to healthcare reform and relationships with local healthcare providers, Bouvier has set itself up to be profitable into the future. They're not just a surviving independent pharmacy, they're a thriving one. Here's more of the Bouvier Pharmacy story.
Bouvier Pharmacy is a pharmacy predominantly. We also engage in quite a bit of durable medical equipment.
We provide pharmacy services, both retail as well as for assisted living facilities and state-run group homes, as well as a full inventory of durable medical equipment. So we do respiratory and hard medical equipment as well. We have respiratory therapists and nurses on staff and whatnot. We started in 1900, so we actually joke around here that we are older than the Red Sox. My great-grandfather started it right up the block from where we're sitting right now. He took over a business and started Bouvier Pharmacy at that point, and then passed it along to my grandfather and his sister, and then my father, who's one of 5 boys, grew up in the business. He and his brothers, a few of his brothers, took it over at that point, and then here we are today.
I think the biggest thing about working with family is that the family inherently knows the business because they grew up in the business.
It's nice having your family here with you. You know, my father and I have great synergy when it comes to running the business.
My favorite part of it is that I get a satisfaction of knowing that the business is going to continue because, you know, we're really involved with it.
We have a shared commitment to this, and honestly, you know, when we say family here, we talk not just about the ones whose last name is Bouvier, but all the employees here, because we really do pride ourselves in doing something different here. And that comes back to really the family values. And those family values are not exclusive to people with our last name. You know, truly, we feel like we have fostered an environment here where the employees treat the customers as though they were their grandparents, they were their parents, and that's really important. I would say the only disadvantage is my father and I need to be very mindful not to fall into kind of shop talk during, you know, during family events. That's hard to do, and kind of find what that boundary is, you know, while we're getting together as a family.
2 years ago when Brian came into the business, it really did my heart good because I know now that he's going to take this to another level, and there is a big future here.
That reputation that we've grown over 114 years is the reason why physicians trust us and why all these people trust us. And we need to guard that fiercely, and guarding it by providing fantastic services, reliable service, and collaborative care. And that's really what we've done back to my great-grandfather.
It's with great pride to present a 2014 Family Business Award to Bouvier Pharmacy and Home Medical Solutions. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is Brian Bouvier, owner and COO, and Philip Bouvier, owner and president.
He made me give the speech. Oh, you got to stay up here. You're going to make me do this by myself? Oh, that's great. Remember that synergy part? That was it right there. So Peter, if we survive the group of death, does that mean as the fourth generation we're in the knockout round? That's kind of where I was thinking with that. First of all, I want to thank the Worcester Business Journal, certainly, the sponsors, the judges. This is a terrific honor, and obviously congratulations to our fellow honorees. So you've heard all of the rainbow and unicorn stories about joining family business. Well, here's ours. I have 16 first cousins, and my grandfather sat every single one of us down and forbid us to join this business. True story. In fairness to him, at the time the prospects were grim. Everything was going big box, and we needed to adjust. As someone alluded to, I think it was the gentleman from Fallon, healthcare is it's an interesting space. I'll use the word interesting. I think it's a family show. We could use other words, but we won't. It's interesting because on the one hand, it's this big beast. It's everywhere. It's in Washington. It's at every cocktail party you're at. It's all encompassing. It's massive and getting bigger. But as we watched it expand, the most essential components to its success kept remaining personal, community-based, and patient-first. And those are areas where family businesses thrive. What my father and his brothers quickly saw was that if we became good partners and remained true to our reputation, then doctors and discharge nurses would want their patients to come to us. Senior living facilities and group homes would want to partner with us. And customers and their families would want to use us. In short, we found our niche, and that was key to our growth. Our subsequent growth really has shown us that people really value family-owned business. And for those of us managing the business, knowing the reputation that preceded us puts us under healthy pressure, I guess, to continue that legacy. It keeps us driven to protect our reputation by continuing to put the customer first and to grow for that next generation and to find ways to do more for our customers and more for our facilities. So tonight, on behalf of myself and my father, we humbly accept this award. On behalf of our staff, first of all, as I said, regardless of last name, they are all family, and they work tirelessly day and night to make a difference with every patient that we touch. It's their passion to put the patient first that continues to drive our growth. Secondly, to our business partners, many of whom are here tonight, who every day entrust the care of their patients, their residents, and their loved ones to us because they believe in what we're doing. They know that we'll treat everyone they send us like we would our own family, and they constantly push us to be better. And finally, on behalf of our family, my Pepe, who I have no doubt is looking down very proudly tonight. All right, he's actually thinking, what's the big fuss and when does the bar open? But it's a separate issue. Also to my uncles, who lived and breathed this business for most of their lives. But most of all to my father, thank you. It's on your shoulders that we stand to carry on a strong, growing business, hopefully long beyond the fourth generation, and long beyond 114 years and counting. So thank you again.
So when you've been in business for over 100 years, there are going to be some challenges along the way. The Great Recession of 2008 saw product demand at Hyde cut in half, leading to some painful adjustment and a reinvention of how business was structured. Through forward thinking and a willingness to adapt, this family business was not only able to survive, but retool for continued success. Today, Hyde is focused on its specialty blades and industrial products, where it remains a local leader and globally competitive. While they no longer deliver their products with a horse and buggy, like they did in the 1890s, Hyde remains a proud family-owned business. Let's take a deeper look inside Hyde Tools' story.
Hyde Tools is a manufacturing company, and we here at Hyde manufacture and sell industrial knives, and we also sell painting and drywall tools for the construction industries. The company was incorporated in 1875 by Isaac P. Hyde. In 1893, my great-grandfather, Myron Clements, joined the company. In 1895, he bought the company with another fellow, and that's how our family got involved with the business. Through the time, my grandfather joined in 1930, and then my father and my uncle joined in 1961. Until the present day. At this point, it's just our family, Clements family, that owns Hyde Tools.
At a family business, there's an obligation to help and do everything that you can in order to, profit and further the company. After you leave the company at the end of the day, you're still part of the family, you're still part of the business, and that's a big, big difference. I think it's good that we all work together. We can, nurture each other and we can help each other grow. I think, our family works very well together, and there's really no conflict, so I think it's fun to work with your family and see the next generations come along.
We respect people's opinions and the work that they provide for the family business. With a family business, we're looking for people to go beyond the outside, look at the gray areas, and try and develop something that's different. Working with my brother and sister is interesting. Each of us has a different job, and which has been probably the key to having three members within the same generation working in the business.
I think we discuss things on a different level as a family, owning a family business on a daily basis. We're all in our different functions, so therefore, we try to work through the channels where we have to when it comes to family interest and family disagreements.
The biggest disadvantage working with family members is sometimes when you go home, your spouse doesn't know that a day or two later you've solved the problem with your brother or sister. Sometimes I think the biggest worry is that my wife's fixated on a problem that I had with my brother, but we've solved it, but she doesn't know that we've solved it. And that's, I think in a family business, that's the biggest problem, separating the family from the business and making sure that it flows.
Obviously, we want to make the company profit for many years, and as far as future generations, if they're interested in joining, then we will work with them. We're expecting if they want to come to the family business, they have to go outside and get 5 years of experience somewhere else and bring that into the business. And they may just not even come. So we have to look and see what they want to do, and maybe they'll help us start a new business in a whole nother realm that we're not even into at this point in time. And that would be great to really grow the business in the future.
So I'm pleased to present a 2014 Central Mass Family Business Award to Hyde Tools. This award will be accepted on behalf of the company by Bob Clements, Vice President of Sales.
All right, Brian. I was away on vacation for 2 weeks, and I got elected to be the speaker tonight. So that's what happens when you go away. So on behalf of the Clements family and Hyde Tools, I would really like to thank Worcester Business Journal for this award. If it wasn't for our people back home, though, at the factory that help make us who we are, we wouldn't be here. So Fourth generation family. We have fifth generation. Our kids are working in the business now, and we'll see what happens when each one of them are going to join in the business. I really want to say that, the company's gone a long way. 140 years next year is what we're going to be celebrating. We're trying to figure out what we're going to be doing. But today, Hyde still sells in a number of the original markets that we started with. We're in the textile business and rubber and leather business that actually goes back to that 1875 point in time. We no longer ship it with horse and buggy, but UPS is at our door every day. And if it's made, with cloth, leather, rubber, metal, plastic, food processing, drywall, painting products, we're involved in it. So if you're out there, look for the Hyde brand. We appreciate your business. Thank you very much.
Okay. Lauring Construction prides itself on its hands-on approach, where ownership is on the job controlling all aspects of quality and timely delivery. By ensuring its customers that deadlines will always be met, the company's team approach has formed a reputation of respect. The company's strong family values have contributed significantly to the firm's continued success over the last 92 years. With its deep roots and strong reputation, the company has been able to develop all of its work within the Central Mass region. I think we'd all agree a rare feat in the contracting business today. Let's take a look at what Lauring Construction is special for.
Lauring Construction is a commercial contracting firm that deals with mostly institutional, educational buildings. We do most of our work in Worcester County.
The business was started in 1948 with my grandfather and father, who started out doing stone masonry work.
They were mainly in the residential market then, and progressed through the 60s into the commercial market, and since the late 60s, early 70s have done solely commercial work.
I have one son in the business. My brother Mark has a son in the business, and James has two sons in the business, so there's 5 other fourth generation people being employed by the company.
Well, it's nice working with other family members. We get to tackle problems all together, putting our minds together, and that's nice too, rather than having all the problems fall on one person.
This is my father, my uncle, and my cousins, people I see all the time. So it's very easy to get along with them.
I'd say one of the biggest differences for working with my family is there's definitely a very high comfort level, and we're able to talk to our fathers and uncles on a kind of regular basis to pick up things in the job that you might not get from working in a larger company.
The biggest advantage is an understanding of who I am. I grew up with them. They grew up with me. They know where I've come from. They have their expectations.
We're all like-minded. It makes decision-making really easy. We grew up together, we're all friends, we hang around with each other after work, so it's like going to work with your buddies.
The biggest disadvantage is it's family. We always end up talking about stuff at cookouts, and you see someone on the street passing by, and suddenly it's work, and you never actually leave the job behind. It's always there.
People obviously disagree with everyone, and sometimes when that's with your family, it can get a little more heated than it would with strangers in another different type of work environment.
Sometimes you know each other so well that you can have more heated arguments. You can be a little more frustrated, and that level of frustration can go up quicker probably when it's a family member that you know and very well. As far as the future goes, I think that we're well positioned with several fourth generation kids.
At some point, my father and my 2 uncles will be retired, and as it looks now, me, Michael, and Tim will be kind of taking over the business, slowly, getting more responsibility as it is now, and hopefully we can just continue to have success like we have in the past.
gives me great pride to present the 2014 Family Business Award to Lauring Construction. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is John Lauring, President. Come on up, Ray.
Brian, I told him, gave him the warning, he has to stay. Yeah. But I'll be very brief. I just want to thank the Business Journal for the award. We're greatly honored, and congratulations to the other honorees. It's been interesting how everyone has commented on the family dynamics, how it's a blessing and a curse almost, but I wouldn't have done it anyway. We enjoy it, and the goods certainly outweigh the bad, so thank you very much.
Forgetting the books. Okay, for the team at Woods Ambulance, it's all about making a difference in their community. For the past 60 years, Woods has been providing ambulance service for those in need. Starting out in Raymond Woods' garage with an initial contract with Haywood Hospital to get the service started, the company soon expanded into full-fledged operation. Woods' exceptional service and dedication to the community is evident in many ways. They have a program that offers CPR training to the community and bring ambulances to schools, as well as funding for local organizations that helps rescue personnel recover from job-related trauma. The company's staple remains its first-class customer service, and to this day, President James Wood is sure to answer the phone on the first ring. Here's more of the Woods Ambulance story.
Woods Ambulance has been a provider of emergency medical and non-emergent medical transportation for 60 years now, and in the city of Gardner and the surrounding communities. My father started the business, or actually bought the business from the hospital in 1954. I took over the company in 1984. My mother was running it then. My father had passed away in 1973. Now I have my two daughters. Both of them are working here. My wife has been in and out of the company now. She's helping raise the grandkids, so she's a little less involved.
Working with your family members is a little unique situation, I find.
I think the biggest difference is the depth of caring, because you're personally invested in it.
So I think we treat each other differently. There's not really any specialized treatment that goes on, but we are more comfortable speaking with each other instead of a professional relationship where you might watch what you say or worry about hurting somebody's feelings.
With this, it's 24/7. It's the little things that cause you to lay awake at night and worry.
The biggest advantage that I feel that you get when you work for your mom and your dad and your sister is that your opinion matters, and it's the family dynamic.
The biggest advantage to working with family is being able to bounce ideas off each other.
Everybody has their weakness and their strengths. And working with family, you know what those weaknesses and strengths are.
Sometimes they know what you're thinking before you do. But yeah, it's just having that connection with somebody and just knowing what works with each other.
We all have a stake in everything, and that I think is a big advantage.
The disadvantages of working with family, not taking it personally. Leave it at the door. It's like, don't continue the argument at home.
You know, you can be sitting at dinner on a Saturday night and say, hey, this happened at work this weekend or this week, and sometimes it's hard to leave it behind.
Being the general manager for Woods Ambulance, I see great things coming in the future.
My kids have already been here and helping and playing here, and I would hope that someday they'd like to be involved.
I think it will be in good hands, and with 4 grandchildren, possibly even better hands. We'll have to wait and see, but we plan on being around for a long time to come.
So I'm pleased to present a 2014 Family Business Award to Woods Ambulance. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is James Wood, President, and Jennifer Wood, General Manager.
On behalf of Woods Ambulance, I would like to thank the Worcester Business Journal. I would also like to thank John and Scott for Comfort Zone Communication. They're the ones that nominated us. And of course, I would like to thank my family, my employees who are like my second family, the local businesses in our community that have supported us relentless over the 60 years, and I look forward to working with them for the next 60.
I'd like to recognize the other family businesses here. They know what we're talking about. You know, the worst thing about being in a family business is the family business. The best thing is the family business. Having grown up in a business that runs 24/7, 365, I've never known anything different. And a lot of business people don't understand that. But boy, I'm telling you, it takes a toll on the family. But I have the best family. And my employees, we treat just like our kids. And sometimes we have to push them a little, but they push back. And that's great. We get some great ideas from them. And it's just absolutely wonderful working with family. I just can't say enough about it. And we will continue to grow. Thank you.
I think you all understand why this is such a great event. We've been doing it for a number of years, and there's so many success stories and so many great stories, period. It's one of our favorite events. In closing, I'd like to thank all of our honorees for allowing us the opportunity to profile and showcase their family business with you here this afternoon and with our many thousand readers throughout central Massachusetts. Your stories are grounded in humility, creativity, value, hard work, and service. Your stories serve to validate, inspire, and motivate. Your commitment to your family, your business, and your community is extraordinary. Congratulations again on being recognized as Worcester Business Journal's 2014 Family Business Award honorees. Before we conclude, allow me to thank once again our presenting sponsors, Bank of America, Anna Maria College, and Fallon Health. And our supporting sponsors, Better Business Bureau, Family Business Association, and ROCG Shepherd & Goldstein Consulting Group. And our media sponsors, WTAG and WSRS. Also, special thanks go out to Curry Printing for doing our programs, Cyprian Keys Golf Course for this venue, facility, and food, Elevation Exhibits for the event marketing collateral, signs, and posters, for Mark Serra Productions for the event video, Ron Boulay Photographer, he's our event photographer, does an outstanding job, Revelation Production for all the audio-visual presentation. And also a special thank you to a person who I'm sure many of you honorees have come in contact recently, and that's to our Chris Prosser. She's our marketing and events manager who pulls all these events together seamlessly. So again, thank you to all, and please join us for cocktails and hors d'oeuvres right in the back there. We hope to talk to you some more. Thanks so much.